Question of the day is, who is or who has been the biggest influence on your life? Let me know.
Oh my Lord, well I know.
Sunday, 27th of March, 2016. This is the weather. Where are they? Sunglasses. It's a cold day, but I suppose we do live in Ireland. This date is an important day in my life. I want to take some time today to talk about it. When I talk about something that I'm passionate about, I do tend to ramble on, and sometimes I don't quite hit my point. So from the outset, I'd like to say that my point is that the most terrible thing in the world can happen to you, and you can still be okay. You can become stronger, and you can decide not to give up. Here's my story. On this date in 2004, 12 years ago, my brother Graham lost his life in a road traffic accident. And on that day, the course of my life and the lives of my family was altered forever. So I would like to dedicate today's vlog to the memory of my brother. I would like to talk about how his life has influenced so strongly the person I am today. And I also just want to talk about my brother and keep his memory going. The older I get, the more I believe and see that the best way to keep someone alive is to talk about them and to share stories about them. And I want to explain how that has affected me in the most positive way that I can make it affect me. Thanks for listening.
For 21 forevermore.
On this date in 2004, my world and the world of my family and all of Graham's friends was turned upside down. I don't talk about this very often. This is how I view and how it affected me. Like I've said before, you never truly know what's going on in someone's head, so I'll never truly know how it's affected my family, ever. You can't possibly sympathize with someone when you don't have their perspective on it. So this is my perspective. What could have happened to me at the age of 15 when Graham died is that I could have let that define my life in a negative way. How I have dealt with it is just ingrained within me, so I don't necessarily verbalize this kind of stuff on a regular basis. And maybe I don't actually have the words to describe my feelings. I think that's partly why I write songs, because in songs you can use such standard words but wrap them up in the emotion of the music and you can just about get your point across. It was such a concentrated moment of pure energy, not good or not bad. And at that moment, I made a decision that I would become the strongest person in the world. Not that I would suppress my feelings, but I would repurpose them for positivity. In the last few weeks, I have been the sole embodiment of what that 15-year-old Johnny was thinking. I have become the person that that guy wanted to be in that moment of desperation and heartbreak. And how I have become so strong is that I decided that I would live my life with his passion and his desire and his determination and his confidence and his belief in himself. I would bring all that from him and I would instill it in myself. I would become two people. I would become a superhuman. This is definitely going to be very rambly. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make any great points, but that's okay. And today I'm going to allow myself to just talk. What I am doing, is trying to create a legacy and leave behind stories about him and songs about him. I think in sharing stories about him and writing songs about him, his memory will live on longer than I will. And if you leave something behind that talks about someone, it's a far more powerful thing than just remembering them in your head. I don't remember who I was as a person before the 27th of March 2004. That day, that is at the center, that is the beginning of me becoming who I am today. It's like I had a reset and I became Johnny 2.0. I don't know in myself if I was as confident or I was, I don't know if the confidence was in me or if the passion was in me or if the energy was in me. And that single point of an event in my life kind of triggered me to become the person I was inside. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. I am who I am now because Graham died, but also because he lived and the way he lived. When you're younger, you want to impress the crap out of your older brother. You want to have him think you're cool. You want him to accept you as a friend. I know right now that he would think I was a pretty cool person. Everybody experiences heartbreak and loss and catastrophic events in their life. And if you're watching this and you haven't experienced one yet, count yourself lucky, but know that that day will come. When it does come, whatever it may be, whatever shape that may take, please take a step back and say to yourself that this terrible thing has happened and I can let it drag me down, or I can take all of this energy and know that you have the power within yourself, just like I did, to turn that into the most positive thing in your life. I don't remember too many stories about my brother that pertain to me. I've heard lots of other stories, but one story I do remember, and it's amazing. It was like 8 or 10. I had this yellow bike. I had it outside of the centre in Rosslare Strand, and a guy from Dublin, a little bit younger than me, had the exact same bike, and I had parked mine outside, but I hadn't locked it. And I came out from the centre, and he was just about to cycle off on my bike, and I was like, "What are you doing? That's my bike." He said, "I don't care what you say, like, this is my bike," and he pushed me, and I fell over. I knew Graham was out on the soccer pitch, so I went and got Graham, and I was like, "This kid's after trying to take my bike, I need you to do something about it." He just said, "You know, I won't be here all the time to fight your fights for you. You have to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You need to sort this out yourself." Of course, it's only as you get older you look back and you think, he was right. You have to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You can't rely on everyone all the time. One day you'll look and the person who you were leaning on will be gone. That's not to say you shouldn't allow them to help you. Every victory I have, whether I think about it consciously or subconsciously, Graham is in my every action, because he has given me twice as much power as I could have had on my own. And that's just the most ridiculously amazing gift that a brother could give a brother. I'm not sure if I've made every point I want to make, but it doesn't matter. So the question of the day is, who is or who has been the biggest influence on your life? Mine is my brother Graham. Every day I grow stronger because of him. Let me know below. A person's life isn't measured by how long they were here, it's what they did while they were here and what they leave behind when they go. And even though Graham was only here for 21 years, which the older I get, the shorter that seems, he left a hell of a legacy, which I've taken on board, and it's my power and my energy and my strength now. That was a lovely walk on the beach. It was a gorgeous evening. I love him and miss him every day, of course, but I feel privileged to have known him. I feel privileged to be able to call him my brother. Little acoustic version of my song, Brother. Oh, nothing too crazy, just one camera, one shot, fully acoustic. Sounds great in here. Good old kitchen. Brother, 7:30 this evening. Enjoy. Yesterday's question of the day was, who or what inspires you to do the most you can with your life right now? Keen Foley, Kay Kavanagh, thank you so much for getting in touch. Smoothies are great.